In this video, we are going to cover everything related to Shopify Collections. So how to create collections, the difference between collections and sub-collections, how to modify your collection pages, how to use and create filters, and how to create different collection page templates, and much more. So make sure to watch this video up until the end because you are going to learn a lot of things. Let's start. From your Shopify dashboard, I want you to go to products and under products to collections. And we are going to start first to learn how to create collections. From here, you click on Add Collection. And this is the editor, and here you need to name your collection and you need to add a description. Adding a description is optional. You can do it or you can skip it. It depends on you and on your marketing strategy. I highly recommend you to add at least a small description with the most important ideas and keywords for the SEO sake and also for AI to understand what your store is selling. Let's start by naming this collection and let's call it Summer Activewear. This is where you can add your description, and it's a rich text field similar to the one you find on the product editor. You can add your text in here and modify the content. I'm gonna just going to repeat the same text in here just to have something. And after this, you will see in here the collection type. In Shopify, there is two types of collections. You have the manual collections and the smart collections. The manual ones are, as their name reflects, they are collections where you assign products manually to those collections. So if you choose this collection to be manual, it means every time you want to add a product to this collection, you need to manually add it. So let's start by creating a manual collection first and show you how it works. So this is the manual one. In here we have the product listed, and since we didn't assign yet any product to this collection, it's still empty. In here we have Metafields, we are going to talk about them later, and in here we have the search engine. If you are just starting out, this part in here, the Metafield section, would be empty. You won't see any Metafield in here. And this is what your customers will find in search engines. So you have the page title and you have the URL handle. Shopify has a special structure of URLs, so every collection will have the collections tag first, then slash and the collection name. You can modify this URL if you wish, and this is going to be the final URL of your collection. This part is fixed and you can't modify it. What you can modify is the name of the collection. Here on the right, you will see the option to add an image. So you can add an image for your collection. And in here, you can choose a template of the collection. We're going to discuss this later. And at this part in here, you can decide where you want your collection to be available, whether you want it to be available across all your sales channels or only in some of them. So for example, I can decide to have my collection only available on the online store and not have it available on the shop app or on Facebook and Instagram. It's really up to you. Once you finish creating your collection, you just need to click on save. And this is going to be our first manual collection. Now, if you go to products, let's pick any of these products. I'm gonna go with this one. In here on the left, you will see the list of collections where this product exists. So basically, this product is in all of these collections, and there is nothing in Shopify that stops you from having a product in multiple collections. This is not a problem at all, and it will not affect your SEO at all. Don't worry about it. You can assign, you can have the same product in multiple collections. It's totally normal. Let's say now I want to assign it to this new collection. In order to do that, and because this is a manual collection, I need to select it from here. So you click on collection and you select the collection from here. And then this way, now this product has been assigned to this collection. And as you can see, this one is in gray and the other ones are in blue because the other ones are automatic collections. I will show you how to create them. But when you create an automatic collection, we create a rule, and based on this rule, products are going to be assigned to these collections. So let's go back to our collection now. So this is the summer collection, and I have one product under it, and this is the product that I have just added. Now let's do something different. Let's try to create an automatic collection. And by the way, once you create a collection, you cannot change its type anymore. So this is a static collection. It's a manual collection. I can't change it anymore. I can change the type. I will go back to collections and click on add collection. Let's call this one winter activewear. And I will just do the same. And this time, instead of choosing manual, I'm going to go with smart. So this is the automatic type of collections. And in here, I will define my conditions. And in Shopify, there are so many ways of what rules to set up. So one of the easiest way is to use tags. If you are liking this video so far and you think that you are learning valuable information, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and to hit the notification bell, because in this way you will get notified every time I publish a new video. And I publish a lot of useful videos that will help you to improve your Shopify store and your e-commerce business. And now let's go back to our topic. So basically you tag your product by, let's say, winter activewear, and once your product is tagged by this, it will be automatically assigned to this collection. So let me copy this one and just put it in here. So in here I'm telling Shopify that any product tagged with this tag is going to be assigned to this collection. I will click on save. And I can add more conditions, by the way, and I can make my products verify all conditions or any of them. Let's start first by seeing this one. So my rule is my product should be tagged to winter activewear in order for it to be assigned to this collection. Let me go to products. Let me pick a random one. Let's go to this one. And let's give it this tag. So this is the tag section in here. I'm gonna tag it winter activewear and click on save. Once I do that, this product will be automatically assigned to this collection. So this is the product. Let's refresh. So after refreshing, you will see that this product was assigned automatically to this collection. It's a smart collection and it's in this collection. If we go to this collection, you will see this product in here. So this means basically that in the future, if you want to add a product to this collection, you just simply need to tag it with the appropriate tag. I find that tags are the easiest way to manage collections, especially if you have a very large catalog. So I prefer to use tags. I think they are the easiest to use. You have other rules and other things that you can use in order to create smart collections. If you click here on add another condition, you will see that in addition to the tag, you have the title, the type, the category, the vendor, and so on. So let's say you want to use the title. Let's say you have already a large catalog and all of your gold items have the term gold on the title. What you can do is you can choose title, contains, or even equal or something like this to gold, let's say. When I do that, all products that has gold in their product title will be in this collection. Another thing that you can do is to use type, and it's the type of the product. Let me open a product page editor so you can understand more what I'm talking about. So the type of the product is the thing that you fill in here. So for example, we can decide to create a collection for all our mats or all our bras. So we can in here choose type is equal to and choose between our product types. We can also choose category, vendor. So vendor is what you fill in here. And it's important because if you sell, for example, multiple brands and you have the brands assigned in here, it means you can create a collection for every specific brand. So let's say you sell Adidas, Nike, other things like this on your store, and you want to create small collections for each of these brands, you can use the vendor as a way. Another thing that you can use is the price. So let's say you want to create a collection for all items that are below $50. And this is going to be your gift guide. You can do that. So price is less than, and you define the price. You can also choose compare at price for the sale. You can choose the weight. So if you want the items that are lower than a certain weight for some reason, you have also the inventory stock. So if you want to create a low in stock alert collection, you can do that. And you have also the variants title. So if you want to create a collection for all your activewears that are available in the red color, for example, you can do that. So contains, let's say, or is equal to, let's say, red. And you have also Metafields. I'm not gonna touch this, but it's also like using the Metafields that you have already created. If you don't know anything about Metafields, I highly recommend you to watch this video where I explain in details what Metafields are. We're gonna talk about them in this video, but if you want to know more about them, you can check this video. It's a full tutorial about this topic. In here, as I said before, you can either force the product to have all the conditions applicable or only one condition. So you can create a collection for all your red items with price below $50, or you can create a collection for your products that are either below $50 or red. Okay, so basically you choose here whether the product should verify all conditions or any condition. Once you finish setting up your rules, you just need to click on save and your collection will be created. The only work that you need to do is at the product level to make sure that you have assigned the right info in here in order for the products to be assigned properly to the collections. Now, I know this is a question that many of you have, and it is, what's the difference between a collection and a sub-collection in Shopify? Actually, there is no difference. Categories and subcategories, collections and sub-collections are the same in Shopify, but the way we show them in the front end on the store is what makes them different. So on the back end in here within the Shopify editor, they are the same. We work with them in the same way. There is no main difference. But how we show them in the front end, this is what's going to make the difference. So let me go to the editor to start building my first collection page, and we will cover in there how to create sub-collections and how to show them. So from your Shopify dashboard, you go to online store, to your active theme, and you click on edit theme. Let's start a little bit to talk about the difference between sub-collections and collections and how to show them. So there are two ways of how you can show sub-collections as sub-collections in your store. The first way is in your menu, so is in your navigation, the way you show them in navigation. So for example, in here, when I hover over shop, I see that I have clothes, which is a main collection. Under it, I have these sub-collections. When I go to accessories, I have this collection, and under it, I have sub-collections. So this is the first way of how you can showcase your different, let's say, collection levels through the navigation levels in your menu. And you can do that simply by building a menu that's structured this way. So if you go in here to content and to menus, and you go to your main menu, you will see that I have a 3-level in here, a 3-level menu. So I have the main menu, which is the shop. Under it, I have clothes. Under it, legging. For clothes, I made it unclickable. So this is not a section that exists, but I can make it. I can make it as a link. I can actually make a huge collection for everything that's clothes, and under it have legging, bras, and overalls. Let's do that so you can have a better idea. I'm going to collections in here, and I will add a collection. I will call it clothes. And in here, I will choose products that are basically with any of these types. So either type is equal to bras, or type is equal to legging, or type is equal to overall, and I will make it any condition and click on save. In this way, all of my clothes will be in this collection. I will now go back to the content, to my menu, and in here at this level, at the clothes level, instead of putting this sign and make it unclickable, I will choose my menu. So I will go to collections and I will choose the clothes collection and click on save. So basically now I have my main collection, and under it I have the different collections. In order to create this type of leveling, you just need to do the following. You click here on add menu item. Let's call this one shop 2, just as an example. I will not make it clickable, so I will add this sign, and I will add another item. Let's say this one is going to be clothes. I will actually select the theme from here, the collection, sorry, click on add, and I just need to move it like this to tell Shopify this is a second level. Then I will add the legging one. So let's go to collections and choose search for leggings, click add, and I will move it like this. So as you can see now I have 1, 2, 3 levels, very similar to what I had in here. And I can continue doing the same, adding my bras, for example. So let's search for bras. And this is the 3-level thing. I'm gonna remove this one because we're not gonna have 2 of them, but basically that's how you create your 3 levels. In this way, you are showing your customers that you have a main collection, which is clothes, and under it I have these 3 sub-collections. Now let's get back to our theme in here. And in here we go to shop, and as you can see now, if I click on clothes, it's going to take me to a collection where I have all my clothes listed. If I go now to this one, to the leggings, I will have only the leggings listed. So this is the first way of how you can showcase your sub-collections using the navigation menu. The second way of how you can showcase some of your collections as sub-collections or subcategories will happen within the collection page itself. Let's see together how to customize your collection page so this makes more sense. I will go to the clothes collection in here because it has so many products, and I will modify in here the template. Then later on we will talk more about templates and if you want to choose to change templates from one page to another. As you can see here on the left, we have the content of this page similar to any other page you modify within your Shopify theme editor. We have first the static parts, which are the header and the footer. We're not gonna touch these. These are common between all the store pages. What we want to focus on is this part in here. And by default, the product page is a simple page with just two elements. So we have first the collection heading in here, the title and description. So if we have a description for this collection, it's going to show in here, and we have then the collection listed. When we click in here, we have some settings related to the general layout. So for example, the alignment, we want it to be center, right or left, the position, the gap. You can also modify the size of the section, whether you want it to be full page or just as tight as the page itself. The height, you can change a little bit the appearance, so the colors in here if you are using color schemes, if you want to have borders, the corner radius, and so on. These are things like basic settings related to the display of the section, and those settings are going to be different depending on the theme that you are using. But basically you don't need to do a lot of work in here. You can keep things basic, just a collection name, and that's it. This is not something or a part where you need to spend a lot of time because it's not going to change a lot your collection. So let's go back in here. We notice in here that we have the title and the description as blocks. We can click on add block, and if we wish, add more blocks in here. But again, I prefer to keep things simple. Now in our case, the title is being taken from the collection title from Shopify. We can also modify some things about it, like if we want to have a background for it, the alignment, the padding, and stuff like that. And then here we have a description. The description now is empty. If we want to modify it, we can click in here and click on added value. This is actually a new feature from Shopify where you can modify collections and product pages directly within the editor without going back to the back end, which is super user friendly. Before we needed to go back in here to modify stuff. Now we can modify them directly in here. So let's say I want to add a description. Let's call it trial description. And just like click on save. So now I have my description in here listed. I will actually remove them because I think they look bad. I will just keep one line as an example and click on save. Now the part I care about the most is this part in here, which is the listed products. So in here I can see all my listed products in all the different product types, and I have the filters in here, and I have set up those filters to show the size, the product type, the fabric, and the color. I will show you in a few minutes how to set up filters, but first let's talk about how you can showcase your sub-collections within this page. Since we are going to add a section now, it's better to create a new template that we are going only to assign for clothes. So in Shopify, you can have different layout or different templates for your different collection pages or your different product pages. By default, Shopify gives you a default collection page that's applied to all of your collections, but you can change this and you can create a specific template, a specific layout for one of your specific collections, for example. So since in this page, in this collection, in the clothes collection, we want to showcase sub-collections, we want to modify the layout. So let's create a template for it. We click on create template. Let's call it clothes and click on create template. Now when we go back in here to Shopify and let's pick our clothes collection. So this is the collection. In here under theme template, I will assign the clothes template. So basically now everything I do in here in this template is going to only be shown in the clothes collection, not everywhere else. So let me go now back to shop to clothes, and as you can see, it's loading this clothes template, and this is the one that we are going to work on. So we're modifying only the clothes collection. In order to have this done, you need in here to assign the collection template to the right collection and first create the right template. In order to do that, you need first to create the template, then second, assign it to the appropriate collection. Now I will go back in here and add a section. And in order to showcase my sub-collections, I want to showcase them as small images in here. I will choose column, multi-column section like this one. And I will move it up in here. So my plan in here is to showcase a bras sub-collection, a legging sub-collections, and an overall sub-collection similar to what I have in here. So for this multi-column, as you can see, I have 3 columns. I will actually remove them. I will keep just the first one. I will modify it and duplicate it. So for this one, I will keep everything as it is. I will add an image for it. So this is the image. It's going to be a small image. Later on, it's going to be smaller. And I will just have a heading without a description. Now, since I have this as I want it, bear with me, I'm gonna duplicate 1 and 3. So now I have my 3 sub-collections. I will go to the first column in here. For this one, I will assign the image of, for example, a bra. So let me go, for example, with this image. And I will link in here to my bras collection. So collections, I will go to the bras one. And for the title, I will put bras. You can pick a better photo if you wish. It's really up to you. I will go in here to the second one, and this time I will choose a legging photo. So let's go with this one. I will call this one, I will choose the legging collection in here. And I will go back to this one and choose the overall. Let me see if I scroll down, if I find something. Let's go with this one. And under collections, I will link to the overalls. Okay, the sizing of the images is not the same. So let's see if this is something we can modify at the section level in here. So can we force all the images to be the same dimension? Let's see. Layout, we don't have any option in here. Also, no, we don't have any option. So let's see if we can actually in here decide the aspect ratio of the image. I'm gonna make it square. So now it's like the same one, and let's go to this one and also make it square. Okay, I will fix the titles of each of these. So for this one, I will put leggings. Sorry, for this one, it's going to be overalls. And for this one, it's going to be leggings. You can modify everything like the text, how you want it to appear. It's really up to you. I'm just trying to keep things simple in here. Let's go in here and see if we can make it change some stuff in here. Actually, I think it's fine as it is. So now I have, when I land on this page, I have these sub-collections in here. For sure, you can improve the design better. So instead of having them like this, have them, for example, without a background, have just the shape of the item. In this way, the collection page will look better. Let me show you an example so this makes much more sense. So as you can see, for this brand in here, we have used the same logic for the activewear collection. We have the sub-collections listed, and as you can see, we have used small images without a background. We made the design a little bit sleeker, more elegant, and now our customers can access the sub-collections directly from here. You just need to apply the same logic. A little bit the options in here will differ depending on the theme that you are using, but most themes will offer a multi-column option. So you will be able to work with this regardless of the theme that you are using. One thing I guess in here it would be nice is to be able to customize the image size, because I think now it's very big. So we can have it small like this and maybe center it. Let's see if this is an option. We need to go in here to column, I think, and center the full content. So yeah, so we can make them small this way. So for every one of these, we can make it 33, even smaller. But we need to make it, like this. Let's do now the third one. So for this one, we click in here and we also make it smaller. Let's do it also 33. And let's center the content. Again, you can play around a little bit more with the design, make them more elegant like we have done in here, for example, but this is a very good way to showcase your sub-collections. Once you do that, you just need to click on save, and now you will see that your clothing collection have this option, but if you go to the legging collection, you won't see this, because for the legging collection, if we go back in here, for the leggings collection, we have the normal template, the default one. We don't have the clothes one. Okay, so we go back now to our clothes collection, and as we can see, we are finished with the sub-collection section. The second thing that we care about is how the products are being listed in here. So as you can see, this lives under collection in here, and we have some options that you can modify, like the type. This is going to be also different depending on the theme that you are using. You have like a difference in the mobile grid. If we go to the mobile, for example, we have large, we have small. You have like a little bit control over the layouts or the gaps, and that's it. The option in here, like the settings that you can change, are usually limited. There is not much to do. I prefer to list the products on grid, and on mobile to have 2 products per grid. I think it's better to have 2 products per grid like this for the user experience. Now under this, you have some things that you can modify on the product card. So this is the product card. This is how the product is listed. And as you can see, for the product card, we have for sure the product image. So you can modify whether you want to show an auto ratio, or you want them all to be square, for example, or you want them to be landscape. It depends on your photos. I would go with the auto one if all my photos have the same size. If not, you can go with the portrait or square, depending on what works best for your images. And you can add borders if you wish, like this. This is a very nice option, by the way. And after that, you have the product title. You can also modify some stuff, like make it centered, and you can also modify the price and make it centered. Really, these options are also going to differ depending on your theme. So many of the themes will give you in here the options to change product cards, so you can have more options and more settings in here. We're working with the Horizon basic theme of Shopify in here. That's why the options are a little bit limited, but this is already more than what you actually need. Some themes will offer you the option to quick buy the product from here. It's going to be an option at the product cart level. This is really just dependable of the theme that you are using. So once we finish with this part, the second thing that we need to talk about is the filtering. So how we are going to filter your products. Filters are super important, and they might be the most important thing that you need to work on your collection pages. Especially if you sell a lot of products, you must allow your customers to easily filter and access and be able to find what they are searching for. And filters have 2 main functions. The first one, helping your customers navigate your catalog. The second thing, explaining to your customers what you sell. So as you can see in here, I have this list of filters, and I have set them up, and I will show you exactly how you can do the same. I will click save in here and go back in here. In order to set up filters on Shopify, you need to use an app called Shopify Search and Discovery, and it's a free app from Shopify. You just need to download it to your Shopify store. Once you do that, it will allow you to modify filters. So you click here on filters, and basically you can choose what filters to show. By default, we have availability and price, and we have added all of these options. And as you can see, for each of these filters, you can see the type, so from where Shopify is pulling it out. And we have the standard filters, so like the availability, price, product type, and we have the category Metafields. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time explaining product Metafields. Again, if you want to know more about them, you need to check this video. In order to add a Metafield, you need to click here on Add Metafield, click on Select Source, and you select from this list in here. This list will contain the standard filters, the category Metafields, and the Metafields that you have created yourself for your products. We are going to cover Metafields for collections lightly, so you will get an idea about what I'm talking. If you go back to a product in your store, you will see that by default, when I click in here, you have this is what Shopify was using for filters, and you have in here the category Metafields. Those are also predefined by Shopify. So Shopify will understand what your category is, what the category of this product is, and based on it open these Metafields, and you can fill them and use them as filters. Let me show you one example so it makes much more sense. Let's say for all of my products I want to add a filter which is the, let's say, the length. Okay, so now I don't have length in here and I don't have length under these Metafields. So I need to create this filter. I need you to go to settings, you go to Metafields and Meta Objects, you go to products and you click on add definition. And let's call this one length. I will call it length trial filter so you won't forget it. And in here I will choose list of values. This means the same product can have multiple values under this filter. And I will click in here under type, I will select single line. It's very important to choose these options and click on save. Now when I go back to my product in here and I scroll, you will see that under product Metafields I have this new field to fill, which is the trial filter. I will, for example, fill in here anything, just as an example, and click on save. And this, by the way, is going to show in all our products. So we can go to each of these products and add the value in here. Now, the second thing that I need to do is to add this to my filters lists. Now, as you can see, I have this list. If I refresh, I don't see it because I didn't yet tell Shopify that I want to use this as a filter. What I need to do is to go to search and discovery, and in here click on add filter under filters. And for the source, I can simply type the name. As you can see, I can see it, and it has the type of product Metafield because I've just created it under this type. And I will click on save. So now, as you can see in my filters list, this lives and it's the last one. Let me go back in here and refresh, and you will see how this filter is going to appear now in here. Now, as you can see, I don't have this filter in here, but once I refresh, it will show in here. So it's under more and it's in here. If you are not seeing your filter on your page, it means that you didn't fill this field to any of the products in this collection. That's why you are not seeing it in here as an option. So that's it to how you can add a filter. You just need to repeat the same logic and add all the filters that make sense to your customers. We have talked about Metafields for product pages. You can use the same logic for collection pages as well. So we have seen that we can create a totally different template for a collection in your store. So for the clothes collection, you can have a totally different structure from your default collection. But let's say, for example, there are 3 or 4 collections that will have the same layout, but you want to change the content within this layout. So let me give you an example. So let's go in here to collections and let's create this one and call it template 2. Template 2. So let's say that this template, I want to have an image at the beginning. So I will go, click here on add section, and I will add image and with text section and scroll it up. So I have now this template and I want to apply it to 3 different collections, but I want the content in here to be different from one collection to another. This is where we use the collection Metafields. So what you need to do is to go back to your Shopify settings in here. And under Metafields, this time instead of creating products Metafields, you create a collections Metafields. So for this section, we need an image, we need a headline, and we need this text. Let's say all of this, we want it to be different from one collection to another. What we need to do is to create 3 Metafields in order to fill them from one collection to another. Now when we go to any collection on our store, and if you scroll, you will see that you don't have any Metafields option by default. There is no Metafields in here. The only information that you can fill is the title, the description, and the conditions. But we want to create some extra fields in order for them to fill in here the information. So I'm going in here to settings, again to Metafields and Meta Objects, to collections, and I will add the definition. Let's call this first one title. And since this is a title, so it's going to live in here, let's give it the type of a single line text and click on save. Bear with me, everything I'm doing now is going to make sense once we finish it. So I will go back to collections, click on add a definition, and this time we're gonna create a meta field for this content in here. So let's call it rich text, and under type I will choose rich text. Click on save. Now the third thing I want to create is an image meta field. So I will go in here to more actions. So I will go in here, click on add definition, and I will call it image. And in here for type, I will choose image. Click on save. So I've created 3 meta fields to fill this section in here. And now when I go back to my collection page, you will see that I have 3 new fields to fill. So when I scroll, now I have these 3 fields to fill, and those fields can be different from one collection to another. So let me, for this collection, which is actually let me go to another one. So let's go to the legging one, for example, and for this one add an image. Call this one legging text, and for this one legging title. We're gonna do the same for the browse collection to show you just the difference. So let's go back to collections and let's go to browse, and in here choose an image of a bra. Let's take this one, and in here put browse text, and here we put browse title, and click on save. Okay, now let's go back to the editor in here. What we need to do is to click on this section, and we click on each of these elements. So let's start with the image. As you can see in here, you have 2 options. Either you select the image, and if you do that, it's going to be common between all the pages using this template, or you choose a dynamic field. We're gonna click in here, and we're gonna choose image. This is going to be, it's a little bit confusing because I called it image, so it's the same name as the template one, but let's pick it anyway. Now I will go back in here to the heading, and this time I will remove this one and choose the title. I should have named them something else so I don't get confused. And for this one, I will remove and choose the rich text, and click on save. So as you can see, I think we've picked the wrong meta field for this one. So let's choose the second one. Yeah. So as you can see, now this is pulling out from the legging. If we change in here the preview to the browse one, we will see different content. So let me go back and assign this template to these 2 collections. So let's go back to our collections. This is actually the browse one. So in here, I'm going to assign the template 2 for this one, and I will do the same for my leggings collection. So let me go to leggings, and then here choose template 2. Now let's preview the store to show what we have done. So if we go back to the home page in here, we click on shop, close. We have the first collection page with the sub-collections, the filters, and the product listed. Then if we go to leggings, we will see this template with the image and text section and the content. If we go to browse, we will see a different thing. And if we go to overalls, we won't see this section because we didn't assign this template for this collection. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a long one, but I hope it will help you to create amazing collection pages. Next, I highly recommend you to watch 2 videos on my YouTube channel. The first one is the Metafields video. It's very important because it will help you to understand how to use Metafields in the best possible way to improve your Shopify store. Second, I highly recommend you to watch this video where I talk about color swatches because I know this is a challenging topic to many people. So in this video, I cover it in details. I will be linking to both videos in the description below, so don't forget to watch them. See you there. Bye bye.